All right, here are solutions to our first quiz for Math 111. Let's see, we're given a couple of points and asked how far apart they are. A couple different ways you can do this. You can kind of draw a picture and make a triangle out of it, or you could jump straight to our distance formula. Our distance formula tells you that the distance between 2 points, if you call one of the points x1, y1, and the other one x2, y2, it's given by this formula. So if we kind of label these points, and you can call them whatever the hell you want. You can call this one x1 and y1, and this x2 and y2. That's hard to read. Or the other way around, it really doesn't matter. You'll get the same answer. You can plug those in here. So let's see, the distance between these points is the square root of x2, looks like it's 1, and 1 minus negative 2 is the same as 1 plus 2. And then to that we want to add y2, which is negative 7, and then minus y1. y1's negative 3. So minus negative 3, which is the same as plus 3. And so what we got is the distance is, let's see, oh, got a squared here. 1 plus 2 squared, which is 3 squared, plus negative 7 plus 3, that's what, negative 4. Careful on how I write that. Negative 4 squared. Jump up here. In other words, the distance is equal to the square root of 3 squared is 9. Negative 4 squared is 16. Another 3, 4, 5 triangle. Square root of 25. It's 5. The distance between these 2 points is 5. All right. Give the equation in standard form of the circle pictured below. All right, so standard form. If your radius equals r, how about the standard form for a circle with radius r? And center hk is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. This kind of comes from our distance formula, specifically from squaring both sides of our distance formula, and then saying that the radius is the distance to any point on the circle from the center. So we can use this. Note that the center here, let's see, so maybe I switch colors. The center in this picture, it looks like the x-coordinate is 2 and the y-coordinate is negative 5. So let's see, here I'm calling the x-coordinate of my center h and the y-coordinate k. So there's the center, and the radius, in other words r. Let's see, it looks like 1, 2, 3. Looks like the radius is 3 here if you just kind of count over. So the radius is 3. All right, so plug all those in. You get x minus h, which is 2 squared, plus y minus k, y minus negative 5 squared, is equal to r squared. You could leave it just like this if you want, or if you felt like writing it a little bit neater, you could write x minus 2 squared plus y plus 5 squared is equal to 9. Whatever, I don't really care. Do whatever you want. Either of these work as the right answer. Maybe I'll put them both in this big box. Squeeze that in there. I'm going to call it good. This right here is the equation that represents all points on this circle right here. Find the center and the radius of the circle given by the equation below by first writing it in standard form. In other words, complete the square. All right, x squared plus 2x, and maybe I'll even move it way the hell over here just so I have plenty of room, plus y squared minus 8y is equal to negative 16. So I subtracted 16 from both sides of the equation there. And now I've managed to isolate my x's and kind of my y's, and I can complete the square, do all this stuff. All right, the way I do that is, let's first take care of over here. I want to add b over 2 squared to both sides of the equation. So b is 2. b divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is what I'm going to add to both sides of the equation. And if I do that same thing over here, b is negative 8. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 squared is positive 16. So I'll add 16 to both sides of the equation. Now I got a perfect square over here. This is x plus 1 squared. I got a perfect square over here. This is y minus 4 squared. And if you add these all up, negative 16 plus 1 is negative 15. Plus 16 more is positive 1. I kind of don't like that this ended up being 1. Made it a little bit too easy, but whatever. I'm all right with that. Note that 1 is the same as 1 squared. So the radius is just 1. Kind of wish I'd made this like 4 or something, because then you'd have to realize that the radius is 2 and not 4. In this case, you kind of forget that step and still get the right answer. But what are you going to do? Sometimes I accidentally am nice. So the center here, let's see, if you go up to our standard form here, this you could think about this as x minus negative 1. So the value of h in this formula is negative 1. And you could think about this as y minus 4, just like it says. So the value of k is positive 4. And the radius equals 1 because 1 squared is really what this equals. The square root of 1 is 1. Maybe there's a way to say it. Which, again, I'm not super happy about. But what are you going to do? Because it's not that big of a deal that I was nice on a quiz. So that's the end of this video. That's the end of the quiz solutions.